Good evening, everybody. This is Omar Serrato with the Tilted Lawyer podcast. I'm joined by SchnitzelNinja.
Hey.
We will be joined within the next 15 minutes or so by Lauren Neidegh. She's going to be dual streaming with me on this one. She has just making her way back to her hotel in downtown LA. Why is she staying over there? I don't know, man. Like, you could have just flew into Ontario. You'd be like 15 minutes away. And then like I could have like driven you to the airport. See, I could have driven her to the airport now in LAX, but it's like a 2.5 hour drive in traffic. So yeah, Uber that shit. Uber's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Also, I'm mad at her because she won me in a race. So
Yeah, I can't wait to see the videos of that.
I was reviewing the videos. I was looking strong. I was looking like I was gonna win. And then there was like a distinct moment where I swallowed water. Drown. And then like I went on my back and started like backpedaling, trying to like it's like swimming is bullshit.
Giving up that easily.
Oh, I tried. I was moving. Yeah. Like the feeling of dying, I think that's where I tap out.
Oh man.
If you could have condensed that to like a 10-second clip, I looked awesome though. So
That's the video you'll post. She'll
I
post
know
it.
that's the one that's gonna go on my channel. I don't know what Lauren. So this Laura Owens breaking news. The police reports have been released. I have some thoughts. Man, I'm so tired. I'm so beat.
I bet for different reasons, yeah.
For different reasons than you, for sure. For one, it's like midnight where you're at. Also, man, well, we don't need to talk about me. But this Laura Owens case, the police reports that came out are very telling. Number one, they were going for a search warrant of her home. That tells me that they were looking for specific things. They were looking for communicative devices. They were looking for cell phones. They were looking for computer equipment, tablets, whatever, letters, mail, receipts. I don't know the extent of which they had the opportunity to search, but when you have a search warrant and they have the search warrant for the house, they're literally looking in all the nooks and crannies and crevices, they did go out of their way to say that they didn't break anything, but that the fact that they even had to say that means that they were moving things out of the way and they probably left a mess.
Well, and these guys weren't even doing the search warrant. They were just preparing the property.
Right. For the other agency
MCAO.
And actually conduct the search.
Right.
My only point being, because we have no idea what they were looking for, what they recovered. But I feel like their search likely was not specifically geared towards phone communications, because I feel like the DA probably likely already has a lot of all that stuff. And so they were looking deeper and probably for something very specific. What could that have been? I don't know, receipts, Google searches, for one.
Bank information, right?
Bank account statements, but more importantly, online accounts, like for example, through Fiverr. Password. Hey, what's up? Lauren is in the chat, says she'll be on soon. If I was the DA and I'm trying to go
HCG Purchases.
Yes, HCG Purchases. Which, by the way, Megan Fox did a video about injectable HCG. What is the final verdict on that? Do we know?
On that whole thing?
Yeah, like do we definitively know anything about that?
So what we know is that this one beauty clinic was subpoenaed. They were subpoenaed by the MCAO attorney. And they didn't have to appear for their summons because they found out that Laura, aka Emily Wilson, probably AKA Jan Black, Elizabeth Naylor. Maybe they checked all the names. I'm not exactly sure how many names. On the summons, it said her 2 names, Laura Owens and the other one it just said. I can't think right now. I'm so tired. Emily Wilson. So anyway, they found that she had not been a patient there or a client there. So this company didn't have to go to the grand jury hearing.
Okay.
Because she was not a client. The thing that they're claiming is the evidence that they have, which is the reason they subpoenaed these people in the first place, is that they must have found texts. The word on the street is that they found texts on one of Laura's devices, texting their number. But they're saying, no, she was never a client here. We never had any communications with her. So it appears as though in some way, someone, whether it's Laura or the company she's working with, was it a black market thing? Was it a company in Mexico that's spoofing their number? Somehow it made it look like she was communicating with this company, but she actually wasn't. And apparently she was asking for it to be delivered in an unmarked package via like a parcel delivery company. And this beauty company said, well, we don't even deliver things like that. So anyway, they didn't have to go to the grand jury hearing. So what we know is that they found evidence that Laura was communicating with a company about purchasing HCG. And that's why they contacted this company.
Well, just the knowledge that they knew that she was doing that, actively pursuing in the pursuit of HCG. I wonder if that came out in the indictment. By the way, special guest star Rob. What's up, Rob?
Oh, hey yo.
Hey,
out of nowhere.
the news. My God.
Yeah.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Did you get a haircut?
No, he got a tan.
Looks like you got a haircut.
Oh, I don't know. Rob, did you get a haircut? Oh, maybe
No?
Rob
I
can
just
hear
saw
me.
Just
Rob's internet sucks. That's what I know about
I
Rob.
know.
It was card night.
It was card night.
Oh.
What does that mean? Is that like code for something? Well, hopefully,
I lose your volume, but you can hear me, yes?
yeah, no, I could hear you. I guess maybe you can't hear us for whatever reason.
I now have AirPods, trying those out, and I lose the volume. Crazy.
Oh, you should probably, do you have like regular, like wired headphones?
I so want to talk about this stuff.
Well,
Will
let's
be a
see.
little
Let's see how this goes. If you could hear us, just know we could hear everything that you say.
Yes, I'll try that. I'll mute
Okay.
myself.
All right. Well, just the fact that they are tipped off that she was actively searching for HCG is significant.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not they're going to be able to prove that to an actual jury, I'm not certain. Because I just don't know what they have. You know, apparently this company was a lead that really didn't go anywhere, but they know that she was in pursuit. So then what were they looking for? I'm guessing that they were looking for online accounts that were associated to her and her aliases. Because I don't think that there's a big mystery. All of the text message communications are already out there. If they're looking for stuff about her defrauding Clayton Eckert, for example, I mean, that's on the Padlet. And I don't know how long it's been on there for, but it's been on there for some time. And so that's not really a big secret. All the stuff with Maricini, all the stuff with Gillespie, or is it Gillespie?
Gillespie.
All of the stuff with those communications are pretty well known. They don't need a search warrant for all that, is all I'm saying. So I'm guessing that they were going after her electronics in her home, searching for every single app, every single login, doing straight up digital copies of the entire hard drives of stuff, the cache, the whatever, forensic. And they probably took it in to forensics. I want to see everything that's here, everything that's been deleted, everything that's been overwritten, whatever. Because there's some charges in there that were kind of bombshells in the original criminal complaint. Like there was stuff that was relating to stuff that we had no idea was even a thing. And so these police reports, they shed light on the fact that, I got to tell you, I've never seen a family law case, even in cases where like there's known perjury, end up with criminal search warrants looking for things. So the fact that we're here is just wild to me. It's hard to even wrap my head around it. What's up, Aquanetta is here in the chat. Winks is here too, says he must be on a major delay. I don't know what Rob is on. I don't know if it's I think his internet just sucks. And it sucks.
A little slow, maybe.
Yeah, it was good a couple weeks ago when we did Flab, but then the last Friday or so. Anyway, he'll work it out. It was working once well, and now it's not. He's changing up some of his equipment. I've been there. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let him figure that out so people aren't staring at him while he's like fiddling around with stuff. Also, yeah. So what do you think about all that, Schnitzel?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, what like what you just said about what you think they were looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying they weren't looking for like the obvious things that we all know.
They're looking for hard evidence that you can't find online, that none of us can have access to.
Right.
Even seeing like what that she's recommended for investigation. So what all is there more that we don't know that like Mata sent to them? Like,
I don't think that it's what Mata sent to them. Like, you know how long they've been investigating her for?
Right.
The Mata thing was like a year ago. So Mata knew what was in the family law case. What the family law case, that's what all of us know. So all of this other stuff is based on their own internal investigations.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like based on what was recommended to them from the family law case, like I would love to know like where did they start this investigation? How did they get to the point where they what point were they at as far as what charges they were considering when they executed the search warrant? And on top of that, they don't say explicitly it came from Rachel Mitchell, but it says the MCAO detectives who, she's their boss, right? It says that they explicitly said not to physically arrest her, only to do a search warrant. So I find that really interesting too. What are your thoughts on that? I know I didn't exactly answer your question, but I wanted to.
No, that was fine. I'm still trying to wrap my head around all this stuff myself. So it's fine, but I'm trying to bring up the police report because I want to like highlight it and stuff.
Do you want me to send you a link?
No, I already got it. Okay. I was just trying to download it so I could like draw on it. Let me see. Present, share. I want to share this. Okay. Yeah, so the police report, and there's 6, but you'll notice that every single one of them has these first, couple paragraphs or whatever. They were under orders to execute the stuff because of probable cause that she committed these crimes. They were under strict orders that they didn't want her arrested. Like, for example, it should be noted that there was probable cause to arrest Miss Owens. SAU was simply tasked with securing the location, briefly detaining Miss Owens, so MCAO law enforcement could conduct a search of the listed residence for evidence. They don't have to. I mean, when you prosecute somebody, and for felonies, for example, you have the option of arresting or not arresting. I don't know why they didn't go for a straight up arrest. Maybe they didn't want like the circus around it. Maybe they're still building her case. Just because they have probable cause, maybe they wanted it to look as though everything was fine. Like, for example, they didn't file charges until a few months after this,
Mm-hmm.
So they found things and they maybe just wanted to give the appearance that, oh, everything is fine. And then next thing you know, charges drop. Because mind you, there was a period of time where even Gingras is debating with Rachel Juarez on Reality Steve show as if nothing happened, and like singing her praises, and he doesn't think she did anything wrong and whatever's going to happen. And you know, he was talking that way. And so there was an air of confidence there. Now there's definitely going to be a bond amount. She's definitely going to be taken into custody after her arraignment. I don't think they're going to let her go on her own recognizance because she's facing 33 and a half years. That almost instantly makes her a flight risk. And she's got the wherewithal to just disappear to like Peru or something if she wanted to, and blend in and dye her hair and take up country singing or something. I don't know, whatever her desire. But it's not significant to me, or it doesn't surprise me that they didn't want to arrest her. Sometimes it's just part of their investigation. A lot of times my clients, I instruct them the same way. I've had clients that were CPS is knocking on the door. They're demanding that I get back to the house. Well, get back to your fucking house, you know, answer some questions, whatever. You're telling me that you didn't do these things. It seems to me like they have some very specific questions. Worst case scenario, you're going to get arrested. We'll set things up so that you could bond out right away or whatever. But you're either going to do that or you're going to run, and they're going to maybe issue a warrant. You're only going to make it worse if you decide to not cooperate and they got probable cause to arrest. Then, you know, they might have done that. But here, I'm guessing they expected her to be cooperative, and after, you know, some temper tantrum that she threw, she was cooperative. It looks like Gingras talked some sense into her. All of these reports kind of go the same way. I arrived at the scene. I was the third operator within. The entry team of the main house at approximately 6:47. Detective Buckner provides multiple knocks. They make contact with, I guess, her mom first. After multiple rounds of the knock and announce commands, Miss Owens' mother reluctantly answers. At approximately 6:50, I assisted with entry into the main structure. It should be noted that during the clear, I did not break anything or come into direct contact with any individuals. Once in the main structure, structure was cleared. I heard SU detectives come into contact with Miss Owens in the back casita. She was refusing to exit. Upon hearing this, I exited the main structure, walked into the casita and stuff. The most explosive of these reports was from what was that guy's name?
Starts with a C.
Yeah, Sowls or something. Crown. Sowls.
Crown.
Crown. Logan Crown.
Craun, is that it?
Craun. Yeah, this guy. He's the one that makes contact with her. So he says Laura opens. Well, this is where he starts. I assisted other detectives as they made contact with Laura at the sliding glass door to the casita. Laura had locked the security screen door and was refusing to exit after detectives had identified themselves as police and stated that they were in possession of a search warrant. Laura appeared very upset, began stating multiple times that our weapons were drawn at her. Mind you, many of the officers, I don't know how many, but many of them had their body cam on and recording.
I'll say there are 15 clips. So
15 clips of body cam footage from
the 13 officers
that were conducting or preparing this search warrant, basically. It should be noted that at no time did I point a weapon at her. My city-issued handgun remained holstered. My city-issued rifle remained slung and safely pointed at the ground. It's also important to note that I did not observe any other detective point any weapon at Laura after arguing with detectives for some time and continuing to refuse to exit the building. Laura contacts her attorney via phone, who advised her to cooperate with police orders.
So I wonder if she was like yelling to them, like, I'm calling my attorney or something. Because how do they know she was talking to her attorney?
Well, I'm guessing that they were probably yelling at her through the door.
Like, and while
she was, while she's on the phone with Gingras.
Who we assume is Gingras at this time. This is probably too early for her to have a criminal defense attorney, right? Because she doesn't know at the time that she is 100% getting the charges. Although the GoFundMe for her dad and all that stuff, sure, maybe he's sick, sure, but
Yeah,
all that started in December of
right.
2024.
Yeah, we don't know. We're assuming that it's Gingras because that's the only attorney that she felt comfortable talking to
Hmm.
for a period of time.
And the only one we had heard of up until like the other day of a potential criminal defense attorney.
Yeah, and I'm also going out on a limb and suggesting that perhaps Gingras isn't a total and complete idiot. He hears the cops yelling at her through the door and probably saying that they're going to take her under arrest. She's either going to go peacefully or they're going to put her in cuffs. And look, could you just cooperate with whatever they're trying to
Well,
do?
and that's the thing. He can't like fudge his way through that or try to
No.
argue something like in family court.
Yeah.
It's like he knows the law.
The cops don't give a fuck about what the
Yeah.
attorney has to say. You ain't here, bitch. It's like, look, I don't. If I'm not asking her questions, then we don't need you here. I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to place her under arrest if I have a reason to do that.
Mhm.
When I was a much younger attorney, okay, so my client's getting arrested, and they're calling me, asking me for advice. All right, and then there's times where I would call and actually speak to the officers on the scene. You cannot do this, and there's like, well, I guess we're going to have to agree to disagree. You have no authority over the cops as they're doing their jobs. What are you going to do? It's like whatever your battle that you're fighting as a lawyer, it has to be in the courtroom because they don't give a shit about your opinions.
Right.
They're the ones that are sitting there executing the arrest or the warrant or whatever they're doing. And so the only thing that you tell your client in that, look, they're going to do what they're going to do, videotape everything, make sure they got their body cam footage, whatever on, don't answer any of their questions, wait till I get there. I'll visit you after you're processed. That's really all you can say because they're going to take you in. If they want to take you in, they're taking you. And then if you want to make whatever motion about illegal search and seizure or, fruit of the poisonous tree, stuff that might have been obtained illegally, whatever, no probable cause for the warrant, then you make your arguments and your motions after the fact. But the cops don't have to listen to you in the moment. Now, I'm not saying they're going to ignore the law or disregard what you're saying because they will be respectful because they know better than anybody. And I've been a part of some of these internal investigations with law enforcement where they're sitting here. And I remember I was working for a firm. I was counsel as a baby attorney. I was counsel for officers that were facing these administrative hearings. And they would, they're conducting their business. They would ignore certain rules. Like, for example, they'd start asking questions before Mirandizing somebody. Or somebody would clearly state that they wanted their attorney and they start continuing to interrogate them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they get their ass chewed out because that's the quickest way to tank a case. An investigation that might have been going on for years is to go ahead and violate somebody's constitutional rights. You get fired for that. When it comes to internal affairs and their investigation. So it's not that they're disregarding what the attorney has to say, but at the same time, you have no authority over them. If they wanted to arrest her, they can, is all I'm getting at. I know that was a long-winded way of saying that, but
yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah. And so Gingras probably recognized that he was not going to talk his way out of this for her. And the only thing that the worst case scenario is she continues to disobey the cops. And gets arrested for obstruction. And then that would have blown up. I mean, if anybody caught when the Laura Owens was arrested, like, how much everybody made a big deal of just the fact that they brought charges against her. Imagine if she was arrested and she's on the news. Oh my God, she's been arrested. And that would have been a huge thing. And, it would have been embarrassing and wouldn't really affect the merits of the cases, but it would have been highly embarrassing for her and her family.
Yes.
And for whatever you think about her parents, I feel for them because they're sitting here at 6:50 in the morning. They're getting their doors kicked in because their daughter has brought upon their home a police search warrant. Jesus Christ, Laura, what did you do? And, maybe behind the scenes, maybe outwardly, they're very supportive of all of the things that she's got going on. And they've been dealing with Laura for a long time. They know her better than anybody. But privately, maybe internally, They've probably had harder conversations with you. Got to get yourself together. What are you doing with all this stuff? I mean, I'm assuming that has to have happened with her family, with her sisters, with her dad. I can't imagine being a dad and watching my daughter spiral the way that Laura Owens has and not having something to say about it. And I couldn't imagine myself being like, oh yeah, everything is fine. You're completely right in all of these things.
Well, it's also like, it makes you wonder, how did he get in this position with his family where is it because of his illness and he just doesn't have the energy to deal with it anymore? Is it because he's kind of a cuck to his wife?
Maybe.
And if he is, why? Is this affair rumor true? Is his gambling true? Did he really lose all of their family money? It's like, it
Yeah.
opens in my mind, of course, like I can't help but think of that stuff, like what led to this. And I think that's the big story here, is how did she become who she is today? Because we can all agree she's not a regular normal person.
No, she's not well.
She
No.
and maybe it's like, maybe she's mentally all there and maybe she's just evil, but how did that happen? What happened in her? What are we going to, and like maybe even the documentary would cover this. Like how did she get to this point, with enabling or life experiences and whatnot?
Yeah. What's up, Lauren?
Yeah.
I heard you this time. By
Hey.
the way, I'm assuming this guy's an actual cop. He says they didn't make a PC arrest because they wanted a grand jury indictment. Yeah, maybe. Much easier to get a plea deal out of that. I'm not so sure.
I'm gonna turn my camera off. The lighting in here is shit.
Well, that's way better. That's an improvement. Well, never mind.
Same here.
I would turn off my camera. Hey, Rob, how you doing, man? Is your internet better?
It feels pretty good. Is that good?
Well,
That's what he said.
That's Jesus
Ew.
Christ.
Wow.
Feels pretty good. Is that good?
Hey, how was
I
your
just wanna make
2
sure.
hour Uber drive with your boyfriend, Lauren?
Which time?
Oh,
I was gonna say, was it the same person?
Yeah, well, no, he waited around for me both times. I was like, yeah, man, all right, fine. Which is good because
Nice.
apparently there's not a lot of Ubers that go out there. So something with the homeless
well, that
and not liking to be around them.
to my house is a pain in the ass. I don't know. Well, I don't know maybe that's a reason they wanted the grand jury indictment. I'm not sure if they're looking for. Well, we could speculate. The point is, we were talking about Laura Owens and what her dad thinks of it all. I look at her dad like this. I think that look, he's not a perfect guy. He's got a long history of very public fuck ups in his life. A lot of people know about it. People that have cared enough to dig into him. But he's still with his family. But more importantly, I think that he's sick. I'm not sure what appetite or energy or will he has to battle Laura Owens' demons and like speak out as her father. I have no idea. Or maybe he just kind of let her go.
You don't have to go and call someone an anti-Semite, though. That's not necessary. You don't have to support her, but you also don't have to do that.
Who did that?
Ron did.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
I don't remember. Oh, I was not aware.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was before your time, as Genghis would say.
Oh, yeah, before my time, I guess.
Yeah.
But I've been here for like a year now. I feel like I've been here for a good, healthy amount.
Yeah.
But there was even a time period before that. And so, but
And that's the whole thing, because like they talk about, Clayton makes this cockroach comment, which is obviously not anything to do with her being Jewish or her family having like Jewish heritage.
Yeah.
And their family turns it into like this anti-Semitism thing. And they don't even, they celebrate Christian holidays in their family. So it's just like, even he is he's influenced by Laura somehow. I mean, I'm sure he is to some extent, but he is still perpetuating like a false narrative. And like Rob said in the private chat, he sat down with some of these guys and said, like, I'm going to take care of you. Please. She's going to try to off herself. Like, please, for my sake, for her mother's sake, please don't leave her. Just stay another couple weeks. I promise I'll make it worth your time and I'll help you get out. And then that motherfucker turns around and like throws Mike under the bus in the 2018 DV hearing. Like a motherfucking asshole. I have no sympathy for him. It's not nice to have cancer. It's not nice to have Parkinson's or whatever else they're going to try to claim he has, or maybe he does have. But like that to me is a separate thing from like the fucking shitty person he's been to all of these male victims.
And how his actions on how he's supported her separate from his medical illnesses, right? That's what your point is because of the fact that the things that they've done, mom included, right? Her mom included, to support in a negative light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what her childhood was like. We all have had troubled childhoods in most cases. Go ahead. Sorry, Schnitzel.
Oh, no, go ahead. I shouldn't have. I'm just very passionate. Please continue.
Yeah.
Well, my point earlier when you talked about why didn't they arrest her, she was told in the warrant not to arrest her. She has an arraignment coming up this week. I think that they're kind of like pacing things till the 29th. Why do anything right now that is going to affect that, or potentially why jail her early, if you will? Doesn't that make sense, Omar? Because they have an arraignment set up for Thursday. Now, when this occurred in January, was this?
I got to tell you, from an attorney's perspective, I don't give a shit about if they jail her now or before. They jail her before, that means she just gets her credits. They jail her before she's going to get bailed out. They wait till the arraignment. She's going to have a bond amount or whatever. If she's going to bond out, she'll bond out. And if she can't, then she'll get those 2-for-1 credits sitting in the county jail somewhere. It's not going to affect her case, honestly. It's not going to. It bothers me nothing that she's sitting in a jail cell. Is what I'm saying. As a criminal defense attorney, it just doesn't matter much.
There was also seemed to be like some coddling that occurred in January. Then
I can tell you this: I've never won or lost a case because somebody was jailed or not at a specific time. It just makes no difference.
Like you said, they get credit for their time served. Like they got 5 years credit, So
I'll tell you how. I'll give you an example. Like this one guy just couldn't afford to bond out because like his bond was like $600,000 or something, and nobody's putting up their house so that he could get out of prison. And he ends up pleading. He was in there for like a year and a half or something like that, and they ended up making him plead to one of the felony counts, to serve 3 years in state prison. Well, if you're getting 1-for-1 credits, his time was done. So as soon as he pled guilty, he was out. And so sometimes that's how it works. They do that a lot in Rikers Island up in New York. That whole prison system is fucked. That's another topic for another day. Just
Shawshank, baby. Shawshank.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, look, man, do not waive your right to a speedy trial if you have no hope of getting out. Fuck that. It doesn't benefit you. They either got the evidence to prosecute you or they don't. And you're either confident in your case or you're not. Granted, a lot of the people that are sitting in there are in fact guilty, but there's plenty that are not. And I'm just saying, if you know that you're not, do not have a coward defense attorney that doesn't want to go to trial and wants to continue things for the next 18 months because he doesn't feel prepared. Put the pressure on the state to bring your case to a speedy trial and litigate the damn thing. Otherwise, sit there in jail, I guess, and collect your 2-for-1 credits. Good for you.
Yeah, that makes you happy.
Upside down.
Either that makes you happy or you're ignorant. You know what I mean? It kind of falls into that ploy because the lawyer assigned is going to, like you said, they don't want to waste 18 months of their life for whatever reason. They're going to talk you the way they're going to tell you the story to get it to, we'll just write it out, whatever. But like you said, the right to have a speedy trial.
Yeah. Well, it goes both ways, truthfully, because it's not just the attorney that is afraid of trial. I mean, I'll do trials. I've done trials. I've done hundreds of trials. They don't bother me. I'm either going to win.
A lot of lawyers that are not trial lawyers. You know that, right?
For sure. But like, there's some times where the client doesn't want to go to trial because they're afraid because, if I blow my big chance, like, what about this? And they're the ones that actively are waiving their rights. And in that case, that's something different. Of people that the DA just completely railroads them, and these people have public defenders, and they're all like having lunch together and saying, "Yeah, we'll just put this over, whatever." They don't do any work on the case.
Someone, is that right?
What happened?
She retained someone.
Not that I know of.
Well,
Nope.
there's a name who said they were served on either
David,
500.
David tweeted that earlier that she had
500.
retained someone.
He said she did, and I mean, I think we can probably assume it's the lawyer's name who was on that
Okay.
what's it called?
Subpoena.
Yeah, the subpoena.
Yeah.
The summons or whatever they tried to
All
deliver
came
to
to me
her.
now. Okay.
so
Yeah.
it's probably those that law firm, but like we won't know for sure until the
The arraignment.
arraignment. Yeah.
But that's not a public defender, right? So where's
No.
she getting the money?
Well,
Exactly. I mean, in my opinion, she got it from the GoFundMe for her sick dad. But
Great.
Blowy.
it could
Blowy.
be Jesus, Rob. Or you could get
Sorry.
a you could get like a Sarah Boone type situation where the guy just wants to have a high profile case before he retires and get to do
Even in this
trial.
Even in this case, I want her to have a lawyer. I don't want any technicality that lets her walk away. I
No.
think
Yes,
a
but
lot of people understand that statement, right?
And
Yeah.
for her
I
to have a
want her to have-
good lawyer, I want her
Yes.
to have the best
Right.
lawyer and still lose.
Yes,
So-
right. That's exactly my point. It's like, look, have them do better than the last trial in June and really fight for her rights. And you truly explain everything that we're aware of in court and out of court, but let's do the trial, you know? And I want to represent it so that there is no comeback like I had a shitty lawyer, I got cheated by the system, I got to write another Medium article. Come on. You know? Face
K-Rab
up to
says,
it. And if we have to do it, then you have to, we're going to put you into it, you know?
Sorry, Rob, I gotta get to these super chats. K-Rab says with the 5 says, I have a sister who's a compulsive liar, and I can say there's nothing in the way she was brought up that caused her to be how she is. It's mental illness.
Well, it's also nature versus nurture.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
and maybe even the potential competition with her sister for looks, for talent, for skills, friends. I mean, who knows what? Maybe that also pushed her in. It's so hard to say because we don't have like a what do you call it, Lauren?
Definitive
Like a mental
diagnosis?
analysis of
diagnosis. Yeah.
yeah, or or like a meeting with her with a psychiatrist to say like, oh, she does or doesn't have A, B, or C.
By the way,
Shit,
this
I'd have
question
been
about
invited to one.
this question about the Alfred plea. If I was the prosecutor, there's no effing chance I'm letting her plead guilty and maintain her innocence. Get the hell out of here. The one thing that she hasn't done is take responsibility. So she's either going to plead guilty and take responsibility and offer a big apology to everybody, all of the victims, named and unnamed, or she's not getting a plea deal and she will face 33 and a half years in prison because we will go for the max. If we try this case and I got to take it to a jury verdict of guilty, when sentencing comes around, we're asking for 33 and a half years. Alfred plea this. How about that? So
That's what she said. Yeah.
totally.
Do it.
Anyway, Gemma says that she's paying with it through OnlyFans.
Why would
or
you put that in my head right before I go to sleep?
Ho
Oh,
Fund
man.
Oh, funny.
Oh, fun me.
Oh, I could hear
No, sorry.
I could hear Lauren furiously Googling Ho Fund Me right now.
I didn't touch my keyboard, bro. I already know what that is, and I am on it. So
There you go. I just feel bad that she's so tight. I mean, that's got to be lonely, don't you think?
Oh, they'll loosen her up in prison.
what the fuck is going on here?
Well, I mean, somebody's gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna comment.
Oh,
on
Yeah,
that.
I think we should stop right there. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'll leave it that. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, let's do that. God damn it, guys.
I'm just look, man. I've heard all the stories in prison. None of them. I've shared some on some of my streams.
Omar, we're not talking about your dream journal.
Yeah.
I will refrain.
What's that board? What do they call those?
My whiteboard? My what?
No, the ones the kids have where all their dreams. They have a board in their room. I forget what they call it.
Oh, I don't
Usually
know.
girls. Yeah.
Dream board? Yeah, I don't have one of those.
Yeah. No. But you visited prisons. You've talked to. You represented people who've been in prison, so you kind of better understand it. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I've visited prisons. I've visited my clients in prisons. I've visited mentally ill clients in prisons on multiple occasions. My dad did a couple of years in state prison and told me all what that was like. And he recounts like this very horrifying, very humiliating experience that he had to undergo as a result of things that he was going through. It's just it's not a place to go to rehab yourself. Not the prisons in America, at least not the ones that I'm aware of in California. I've heard of other places that are better at reforming people than others. But yeah, state prison is never a place that you ever want to find yourself in. I don't know if you guys have ever been, but like there's this one particular prison that I have in mind. I've been to like all the prisons in the state of California. I want to say the big ones at least, but there's this one that's in Rancho Cucamonga, West Valley. When you have to visit your clients, you're literally walking into the prison, and it's like a good 75-yard walk into these halls that are completely like the air in there is stale. Everything is gray and concrete and bricks and just nothing to look at. And they take your cell phone. You're not allowed to have electronics in there. So you got your briefcase or whatever, you got your client file. And so you sit there doodling. It's like, oh, you start like writing poetry because you're waiting for your clients. You're sitting there for 45 minutes. You start writing stories, short stories, you start drawing things. Like, what am I going to draw? There's like no inspiration. Like everything in your mind wants to go outside, but you're in there. And I'm in there for 45 minutes about to lose my mind. Like if I had to be in here for like 24 hours, I would.
Yeah, you're just a lawyer. You're just a lawyer visiting a client.
Yeah,
you
have to readjust your brain to lower levels of stimulus or you will lose your mind.
When I'm on stream with you?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that bar way down.
Way
down. No, I used to sit in on psych evals in the jail, and it was not like I mean, obviously, like you said, you had to put your electronics and everything away, so I didn't really have anything to distract me. So it was really hard not to pay attention when the male inmates started doing helicopter dick at me because they hadn't seen a woman in so long. They got very excited.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was like 19 or 20, I think.
Oh yeah.
God.
Oh geez.
Well, I'm glad you're not the only one, Lauren.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Like that.
I've only seen that with homeless people on the street.
Doing helicopter dick
in Cincinnati. Yep.
Oh,
well, the streets are fair game, you know. That's where you would expect to see something like that, is wide open in public.
See, I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I took care of my mom for 12 years, and for the holidays, we would wrap 12 gifts, and we would give them out to the homeless as we would pass them on the highway or at the corners, right? And just to see their smiley faces and joy that they got a wrap present. It wasn't much, but that was my experience with homeless people, okay? I looked at that as, okay, well, you know, be nice to others, you know, that kind of thing. But I've never had dick waiting or spud or whatever.
You know. Rob, you're still young, man. It can still happen.
Yeah, good point. You're right. I have a lot.
You're never too old for a good dick helicopter.
A good helicopter. Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's ageless and priceless. Oh, I told you guys my story about that one time where I was visiting a mentally ill inmate at a women's prison.
No, but you can go ahead and finish that story.
Please. I'll get ready. I'll get ready.
Here a few times in the Robert Presley Riverside Correctional Facility for Women. It's right across the street from the Riverside Courthouse, the criminal courthouse anyway. So I'm going there. She is in proceedings because they're trying to determine whether or not she's actually mentally ill or she's just malingering symptoms so she doesn't face the charges. The charges she was facing was raping young boys. Those were the charges. The boys were like 15, 16 years old or whatever. She was a woman who was in her late 30s, maybe early 40s, as I recall. And her dad, who's like probably pushing 80 years old, was basically using his retirement money to hire the firm that I was working at the time to try to represent her. And so all we're trying to do is get her to a point where she's competent to stand trial so we could fight this charges, because there's no getting out of prison. If you're not found competent to stand trial, you can't even enter a plea. And so anyway, I had visited her on 3 separate occasions. And then on the 3rd occasion, the first couple of times she was normal. She was friendly. We were talking about her case and she was laughing and she had messages for her dad. And then on the 3rd time, she just got real frustrated and she was like talking about how she was having relations or wanted to have, I don't remember the story exactly. I don't want to say that she was having relations with a guard, although I would not doubt that that was the case. Maybe it was another inmate, but she was saying something like that. I'm just trying to replay it in my head. And then at some point during that conversation, she started stripping naked and started masturbating.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then I'm like pressing the button for the guard to come because, like, hey, I don't want to get accused of some kind of whatever y'all think is. And I wanted the guards in there immediately, and then they took her away, and then that was the last I'd ever seen of her. And so yeah, stuff like that happens in prisons. Why did I tell that story? Oh, because of the helicopter thing. That was the equivalent. Oh, Rob is so pure. Rob is not pure. I've seen Rob on Flad twice now.
I've been on Flad.
Dude, who said that? Whoa, no way.
Did he tell the story before? Why does it sound? Because I have told the story on Flad once at least. Yeah. But you guys asked me to tell it again, so here I am.
I don't think anyone asked. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's like Lauren's like, yeah, let me get my lotion.
Mike, ew. You're worse than the helicopter dick guy. You're so
the
creepy,
dick helicopter is not something Lauren should have post for.
Oh my god.
You just helicopter yourself, buddy.
You see how pure Rob is inviting me to helicopter myself.
You should go helicopter yourself after that comment you made.
You guys are too much.
Well, after midnight on Wednesday, so it'll be Thursday morning, our system for the courthouse calendar gets updated every 2 minutes. It's a fluid document. So we will know when her actual arraignment will be. So it'll be either sometime during the day, not just straight up 9 a.m. where there's crowds of people coming in the door. So I'm trying to get the word out. Yeah.
If she does the video arraignment, we will not be able to see that.
Right.
But we'll see it in the calendar if it's a live stream or not. So then we'll know.
That's extremely.
Well, I called today and they said that they're still figuring out what to do with those, was the exact quote. So I don't know if it's going to be live streamed or not. That's the word I got today.
Okay. And that's specifically for her arraignment?
For any virtual arraignments.
Because right now, today was the first appearance, and they had in person and live streams, but that's his first appearance all day today. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, it very well may have her on there. That's just what they said to me today.
Yeah, and in the past, it has not worked out very well for her to be live streaming. Let's be honest.
But
I think they should.
We all hope she is, right?
Yeah, right. But I think they should mandate she be in there, and I don't want her treated like a queen, being brought in a separate entrance and all that.
Like a victim.
Normal person like the rest. Yeah, like a victim. Yeah. And I've read the Bill of Rights of our Arizona Constitution, Article 2, Section 2.1, whatever. Don't harass any of those things, right? And Clayton has been treated that way as a victim, from my perspective, looking at the situation, Right. And for her to keep claiming it through her personal little articles on Medium, press release, kiss my ass. A press release is a press release, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, it's an article. I could write one. Believe me, I really want to and post it. But I'm keeping to myself about things. No. I don't know if I can keep it clean enough. Then I'm going to let it on. But it just frustrates the hell out of me, just how it's all progressed over the last several years. And the trial itself, it just, man, just awful. It just blew my mind,
Yo, I gotta go because I gotta go helicopter myself to sleep.
Hey, have good travels. Be safe, Lauren. Okay.
I'm just like imagining you brought something with you just for that.
Oh, I know you
it's that fan thing with the battery. It's a cool face.
All right, I'll see you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye. What should I play, Sir Chris? You said I should play that after this. What should I play? I don't know what she's talking about.
Some sort of helicopter video?
Is it this Ryan Reynolds movie, Waiting? They go into the bat wing, the brain, the goat. Oh my, I don't know what y'all are talking about, man. I really don't know what you guys are talking about.
It must be really late for them.
The audio that SchnitzelNinja posted on her YouTube. What did you post on your YouTube?
Oh yeah, you broadcasted it.
Wow. So there is the 911. So she, on the 21st of April, she called 911 and claimed that Clayton had violated the OOP.
Right.
And so that's the 911 call. It's just over, like, it's a minute and 1 second or something like that long. I got the feeling the operator was like, shut the fuck up. She said, the woman was like, yeah, stop talking. Like, I don't want you to have to repeat yourself. Someone's going to call you back. So then they do call her back, and that's the body cam footage. So it's not her. She's on the phone with a police officer. He turns his body cam on. So the video it looks like it's inside his uniform or something, like it's covered up with something, but you can hear the conversation. And it's over 37 minutes long, between 37 and 38 minutes long of her. Some of it's some silence, but it's her describing from, what was it, January 11th to like April 18th, 2025, of these times he violated the OOP.
Well, I don't want to play a whole 37-minute clip.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to Schnitzel's channel and watch that directly, I want to say that I've seen that before. Maybe I haven't.
No, it just came out.
Well, then I definitely haven't.
I wanted to. I just didn't have time tonight with everything else that's been going on. But I want to go through and put like timestamps in there of like when certain things are said, because there is a bit of silence.
Yeah.
Sure.
Chapter markers. Yeah.
I want to answer Tammy Lynn's question. Said, my son asked me, how do lawyers have time to do these shows? Well, for one, I don't work 24 hours a day, and I don't stream or do these shows every single day. I do them when I can. I can't, like, there's some YouTubers out there, like, for example, Lauren, she like posts 5 videos a day just about on whatever she feels like posting about. And, she can do that. I cannot. And so when I do have time to do a show like this, it's usually late at night or after my work day or whenever. I make it work, but I find the time. But yeah, it is time consuming. And whenever I have to do these shows, I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. So I like to be informed on the cases that I'm reading up on, like, for example, the Blake Lively stuff, or even this Owens case. This Owens case is easier because a lot of it I've already been through for like the last year. And so most of the new stuff is not like this groundbreaking stuff where I'm going to be behind on the information in the case. And so these kinds of shows are the easiest to do. The hardest ones to do is like when there's like brand new like pleadings and we got to like read and study and make sense of it all. And what does the law mean? So it just depends. Not all shows are created equal. Friday is usually my big streaming day. And also I stand on the shoulders of giants like SchnitzelNinja and Rob, who do a lot of the underlying work on all this stuff, and they do yeah, I really just take the research that they do.
Saying I have broad shoulders?
Yes, I am. I have no way of knowing that, but I'm metaphorically speaking.
I have puny shoulders, can't you see?
Totally. in your avatar.
You don't even have
No, it's
shoulders.
really,
You
it's
just-
not an avatar. It's me. It's
Oh,
a self-portrait.
Oh, that's it.
the fried schnitzel of her image. Yeah, and Amy said a lot of them really enjoy it. It's a hobby. Yeah, sometimes I feel a lot better after blowing off some steam and hearing myself talk for like a couple of hours. And sometimes it's just exhausting. It just depends, man. It really does depend. But we do a lot of good. Sometimes we do a lot of bad. Tammy says, exactly. I told him I would rather watch you rather than the government media. Yeah, the government media sucks. They're too stringent. Although no, I can't say I listen to any government media. I'm not going to tell you all who I listen to. How about that? But it's not the major news channel. Let me say that. All right. So I was trying to make my way. I had a point, and I lost the point when I was reading this police report. We were getting the part where Laura. Oh, we were talking about how Gingras must have overheard the cops yelling at her through the door and told her to cooperate. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen. Just cooperate. Don't answer questions, whatever. And they weren't there to interrogate her.
That's what you would say too, right?
Yeah, just don't talk to the cops. Don't answer any of their questions.
And do like what they say so you don't get arrested.
Don't get arrested. If they're going to take you in, just let me know who you want me to call to bond you out. They're going to process you. It might take an hour. It might take the whole day. Depending on the time of day, you might have to spend the night there, or we could get you out in a couple hours. Just who do you want me to call that has the ability to bond you out? And so I'll try to arrange with their family what's going to happen in the event that she does get arrested or he gets arrested. But by no means are you ever allowed under any circumstances to answer any questions from the cops. I don't care if they ask you what you have for breakfast this morning. It's none of their effing business. If they got enough to arrest you.
Can you say that to them?
Yeah, you can say it's none of your business. I don't answer questions. You can say that. You are not bound by law to answer their questions, but do not obstruct justice. But you have a right to have an attorney presence while you are questioned. And you don't know what you don't know, and you think you're going to talk your way out of something. Do not, because they're there to trick you specifically into accidentally confessing facts that are going to lead them to believe that you were the primary suspect whom they should be focusing on. And so do they get it wrong? Sometimes, yes, they do, because they focus on the wrong person because that person thought that they could talk themselves out of an arrest. All
it's
of
like
these,
the catchphrase, I always get my man, right? So once they focus on somebody, they will do whatever it takes to get them. And that's not
well,
that's not the proper way to do it,
There's so many situations where they're talking to like I don't know, the Brandon Dasi situation. Whatever you think about that guy and his guilt or innocence, that kid was
innocent.
16 years old. Yeah. 16 years old, mentally deficient, didn't have his parents with him, didn't have counsel. They're asking him the same question over and over again. All he wants to do is go home.
He thinks he's going to go back to school.
He thinks he's going to go back home and watch WWF. And then he's going to go back to school or whatever. He has no idea what's happening to alter the course of the rest of his life. Mm-hmm. And how long has he been in prison for now? Like 16 years?
16? No, I don't think so.
Wasn't it 2009 that he got arrested, or am I tripping?
I don't think so.
Jeez.
When did that documentary come out? Making a Murder.
Any time is too much.
That was more recent.
Maybe. Okay. Well, it's been a long time. How about that? So it's been longer than it should be.
Wait, what?
It's a good lawyer answer.
Holy shit. Hold on. He was arrested in 2005.
Dasi?
This says making a murder subject Brandon Dasi is petitioning for clemency. Dasi's case has taken multiple turns since his arrest in 2005.
Okay. So it's been 20 years.
Holy fucking shit.
20 years.
I didn't realize.
Probably he didn't get
and he was
any
16.
kind of assistance or help. Yeah, 16. So he's 36.
Let's see. Well, he was 15 probably when he was arrested. This is when he was charged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
No, time flies when you're sitting in a jail cell. You know?
Well, even watching that documentary, both of them I watched, and I didn't realize, I just didn't remember they were from that, that the case had happened that long ago.
There's been 2 seasons of it. Like the first
Yeah.
one came out in 2013. The second one came out in 2018-ish or so, dealing with the appeals, and the appeals all failed. So he has no recourse right now to ever get out.
2015 and 18 when the documentaries came out.
Yeah, that sounds right.
10 and 7 years ago.
It was around.
The intent of the documentaries maybe were to help get the word out, you think? Or are they just for making money?
There was
true crime viewers. Yeah.
The documentaries did not deal specifically with the relevant evidence that was going to make or break his appeal. And so nobody understands why his appeal failed because they watched the documentaries. Just put it that way.
Okay.
I covered that once. Maybe I'll do it again. But yeah, the documentaries were somewhat misleading in that they focused on a lot of red herrings. There was a very specific path towards winning that appeal, and it just didn't work out. So Candace Owens did a documentary talking about, she thought that the Making of a Murder documentaries were bullshit. I'm not going to go that as far to say that's because there was definitely evidentiary holes in the case of both of those. What was the first guy's name? Not Dasi, the other one. I forget his name.
It's Stephen Avery? What?
Stephen Avery. Yeah, there were evidentiary issues inherent in both of those cases.
Tons.
Yeah.
Like tons.
Yes. And so, like I said,
Are there any judges working anymore? Do any judges work? I know Duty retired. We can't count on him anymore, but aren't judges even stepping in at all? Nothing's being presented.
Stepping in to do what?
What do they call it when a false situation with justice? You know what I mean?
I don't foresee a judge.
I don't think they can do it. Somebody has to bring it to a judge, right? To bring a case in front of a judge to say, look, this is
literally never heard of a judge ruling a certain way and then going to advocate for the person that he ruled against at a later hearing. I've never heard that happening.
I hear you. It just frustrates me because somebody should be held accountable to look out for the people. And that's what lawyers are for, right? That's the intent.
They're supposed to do. Yeah, but and we're supposed to keep everybody in check. The law enforcement, judges, we're supposed to keep judges in check. I mean, look, judges are the referees of the cases that we try. They make decisions based on our presentations of evidence. But when they get it wrong, it's up to the lawyers to check them on that. That's the point of the appeals process. That's the way that we weed out bad case law and solidify good case law. In the you saw David Jingers trying to go after Judge Mata in the Owens case incessantly for stupid reasons
and fucking lose
over and over again. He's going to continue to lose, and he's never getting this to the Supreme Court, but maybe he'll try. He's going to try.
100%.
Yeah. What else has he got to do? Or as long as he's got
those pictures of his cat on X.
Wasn't there gas passing too? I heard rumor of that more, but I didn't watch it or hear it. I heard of it, but I just thought, what?
Wait, get her farting on the phone?
What?
Yeah,
on the call with Brett from RavGen, she farted.
Did we even know that for sure? Like, what if it just like moved a cup?
No, it's a fart.
It was pretty obvious.
100% a fart.
All right,
big burrito fart.
Yeah. That's Chipotle.
Maybe that was the miscarriage.
Oh God. Out of her ass. Sounds about right.
Anything's possible. She dribbled. Or he dribbled, so with her, anything's possible.
Rob is on one, man.
I'm just
going with it.
I'm just frustrated, I'm just frustrated. And she's riding horses with 13 and 14-year-old competitors. You're in your mid-30s, okay? So stop dwindling down to nothing at 83.6 pounds. Eat some pizza, have some spinach. I don't give a shit. But don't play that game that you weight because you're under stress and troubles, right? I think we all could relate to being under humongous stress and pressures. Believe me, I can. I lost 50 pounds in a few weeks, no problem. But
you could lose 50 pounds.
When my mom passed, yeah, I went from 205 to 140. So it was very stressful for me, and it was a shock, and I was in dismay. But I can understand that. Right now, I think it's how thin can I get so I can sell it as, look how much pressure I am, pity me, poor me, you know. Yeah. And then with these horse competitions that I saw her in, and what I read was that she's in a younger league. So, because of her size or weight or whatever.
It's like one of the amateur leagues. And so what I've heard about that is if you go up a level, you're competing against like your trainers and like really talented people. So for that reason, I don't blame her for not wanting to level up. But when you're touting that you're winning these blue ribbons and shit like that, and you are competing against those young girls, that's when I'm like, okay, all right.
Like how really meaningful is it? Right. Yeah, it's like beating up a small kid. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. When you've had so many more, like twice as many years of experience, if not more, than them.
Why not achieve the next level? You're at a good age. You've got the experience. You have a horse farm under your ass.
Fine
you know what I mean?
with her like staying at that level. Like if she wants to compete just for fun, but it's not just for fun. It's like
How about get a job? Jesus Christ! Stop writing a hot horse. Right? Get a job instead of writing horses.
Are you speaking French?
Get a job. Bonjour.
Get a job.
Did he prende la
MG Law raid coming in? What's up, MG Law? How you doing, sir?
Oh,
hey. I love that guy.
Omar, you look so tired.
Me? Oh, are you trying to say that I look like shit?
No, it's almost 12:30 here.
Oh no, it's been a day, man. It has been a day. Erica says jobs are hard.
Well, it's only 10:30. We're fine.
But they could be so rewarding, you know, the kind of work that you can do. And plus, you get money and stuff, and you know, you could pursue your dreams. Oh, I'll tell you what, man. Swimming takes a lot out of you. Jesus. I don't know how swimmers do it. That's like a whole different level.
I did like my idea. If you could have pulled it off, that would have been cool, right? The slow motions, the head turn, the water splashing. If Dom can do any magic, I think that's what you should do.
We might. We're still going to put something together. We'll see.
I think it'd be worth it.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to this police report that we at one point we're going through. I'm going through Logan Crowns because that was kind of the main one. Everybody else kind of said the same thing.
Yeah.
So Laura, upon the advice of whoever she was on the phone with, we assume it was Jingers, it might not have been. But she opens the security door, but still refuses to exit until I took hold of her right wrist and escorts her out. Now, this is a very delicate situation because he has every right to not let go of her arm. Like, you're being detained. We're taking you in.
This is not a choice.
Yeah, it's right. We have a warrant. You're coming out one way or the other. His job is to escort her to the primary residence where her mom and dad are. Where I had been instructed to take her to the front room to wait with her parents as the search was being conducted. I escorted her in the escort position with my right hand around her wrist and my left hand back on the back of her right tricep. So my right hand around her right wrist, he's pushing her basically, which is the best way to do that because you don't want to pull. That requires greater force. You have to squeeze harder. So by pushing her, I could see how he could get her 100 pounds self or whatever out. And then him pushing on her, she's interpreting that as I'm being assaulted. which is exactly what she says. So due to her erratic behavior and her initial refusal to comply with police commands, I continued escorting her in this position to ensure her safety and mine. I was escorting her through the house to the front room. We passed the room that her handicapped father was in. Another detective was in the room with her father to assist him to the front room. As we passed the open door to the room, Laura became irate, shouting that her father could not walk, that he was handicapped. As another detective and I attempted to explain to her that a detective was there to assist her father, she continued shouting over us, attempted to pull away from me. I advised Laura that if she did not cooperate, she would be placed in handcuffs. Laura continues to shout at me, began stating that I was hurting her and I was going to leave bruises on her arm, which that's not that hard to do when somebody's pulling away from you like that and you're trying to hold on. It should be noted that I applied very little, if any, pressure to her arm as I was escorting her, as can be seen in my body cam footage. I applied only the needed amount of pressure to keep her from pulling away from me. After arguing with me for a short time, Laura then walks to the front room where she joined her mother. I then exited the residence. I would not be surprised at all if she had bruising on her wrists.
Yeah, from her own
her straining. Yeah. Pulling
right.
away.
So it's imperative that these officers had multiple body cam footage on her while this was going on, especially because she's literally making false allegations in the moment. Every single one of these supplemental reports, everybody felt the need to set the record straight. I didn't see anybody assault her. I didn't see anybody point a weapon at her. I didn't see anybody whatever. Nobody broke anything. Everybody's saying those same things. And all of these reports offer the same narrative. They get there around 6:49 in the morning. They knock loudly on the door, announcing their presence. They make contact with her mom, Jan. They find Jan inside. They make contact with Ron. They find them both inside. They let them know that Laura's outside in the casita. She sees them. First, she calls them the fake police. Then she refuses to come out. Now, she probably is asking them to leave. She gets on the phone with her attorney. They're probably telling her, if you don't come out, we're going to come in there after you. Whoever she's on the phone with instructs her to cooperate with the cops. She does cooperate with the cops, sort of. She still refuses to come out. They escort her by probably forcibly nudging her into the place where everybody else was. Body cams are fully on her. Everybody's making a point to say that nobody pointed weapons at her, nobody assaulted her, nobody did anything like this, nobody harassed her, whatever. They did what they had to do. They prepped for the next unit to come in to effectuate the search warrant, and that's what we got. Now, the more interesting aspect of all of this is what evidence was collected, and that's we're going to find out in due time.
So
yeah, that's a great recap.
So
yeah, that is a good recap, definitely. But the verbiage that they use to describe what happened and the way he positioned his arms, holding her wrist and the tricep, and escorting her and her screen, to have that narrative written to that detail also supports not just the body cam video, it does, but it helps support the police in case she does bring something up against them, right?
Well, here's the thing. It's not going to be brought up against the officers. I doubt those charges will stick. They'll have the body cam footage. Where it's going to become relevant, possibly, is if this becomes a jury trial. I'm pretty certain that the DA is going to want to try to find a way to get the body cam of her lobbing false allegations at the cops, the same way that she lobbed false allegations at her many victims. And that's going to impress upon the jury that she's a liar and not to be trusted, and exactly the kind of person that would perpetrate a fraud on these men.
Exactly. Like even the claims about Woodnick, the claims about Clayton, the claims about Mike, all of the and which I can't say a lot, but that's going to come into play. So, you know, as an innocence character witness and experiences there, laying that pattern.
Yep. Yeah. And if she gets on the stand, she's her own worst enemy. she'll open doors left and right, and they'll be able to bring stuff in, don't you think?
There's no chance her defense attorney's letting her get on the stand for what? She will
But
get. We have an example of what it's going to look like.
She might want to tell her story.
Well,
she can tell it better than anybody else. I'm just
you know
saying.
what?
Anything possible in this world, right?
Schnitzel, we
I
should
know.
do a convince me
What?
that you want to convince me that you're going to take the stand in your own defense.
Well, even look at Alec Murdaugh.
Yeah. Well,
who-
yeah.
I know he was a lawyer. I know he had friends representing him, but who were also like great lawyers in their own right.
Yeah.
Right.
But he convinced them to let him. I mean, it wasn't really a choice, right? I guess that situation's a little bit different. But anyway, he was able to convince them enough to let him testify. Or Amber Heard in that case, they I'm sure she's the one who wanted to testify. I cannot imagine, even though that woman was a fucking dumbass, I can't imagine they were like, yeah, why don't you take this stand? I have to imagine they were like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't. So I don't know. I mean, a lawyer can't like restrain their client from going up. And
Ultimately, it's their choice.
she's just that she is going to think no one else can tell this truth better than her.
Mhm.
And so I do think she is going to push if it goes to trial, which I do think it will, because otherwise she's admitting some wrongdoing, which she has never done. So I just don't see that happening now. She's already too deep into this to start admitting that she did shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, but 33
and in her own head. Yep, in her own head, she's built the narrative that fits. So why would she give up on it now? Right?
I'm telling you, I could see this going the same way Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone is another person that had no business going up and testifying on her own behalf. Murdaugh had no business going up.
The offer, right? She should have accepted that offer.
Been out within like 6 months or something. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, like objectively, that was what's best for her.
Yeah, but she wanted to put on a show, whatever. Murdaugh was an interesting case because he has that southern drawl. He's a charismatic guy. He knows how to speak in the courtroom. What he doesn't know how to do is speak in his own defense. And he convinced,
or lie very well, apparently.
Yeah, he admitted, I fucking lied because I was nervous. And so
the fucking voice, that got me so much. I know this is a tangent, but his voice on that video that like even his own lawyers didn't know about until like that came to light. That was crazy.
Yes. The whole Murdaugh case, his lawyers were very good attorneys.
Yes, exactly.
Those lawyers were probably top 100 trial attorneys in America. They probably had internal wars about trying to convince him not to testify in his own case. And he said, nope, I'm doing it. If I'm going down flaming, I guess. And it's a poor choice of words, but he was going down in flames is what I was trying to say. He was going down in flames. If he's going down, he's going to go down swinging. And that's what he wanted to do. And so with Sarah Boone, it was kind of the same thing, that she was convinced that she was smarter than all of her attorneys. She had 10 of them, 9 or 10 or something. I forget.
Yeah, something around there.
And every single one of them, she didn't understand why her attorneys were telling her that she was going to be found guilty and she should take a plea. And so she fired them all. And then this last one tried to get her to take a plea. The judge tried to get her to take the plea, said, you understand that if you take this plea deal, then you're going to be released within 9 months, I think it was. If you don't take this plea deal, I have to sentence you to no less than 22 years in prison. And she's like, I understand, and I want to reject the plea. And the judge said, okay. And when she was found guilty, she did not get 22 years. She got life. So
and that judge had the kid gloves dealing with her. Remember, he just seemed like a very nice person, calm, composed, dealing with all of her issues and addressing them. And then when she griped about something or complained about it, he said, no, it's in the court transcripts that we address that issue. And so he really tried to cover, dot his I's and cross his T's so that there was no wiggle room later, right? That I like that. I like that about him. I didn't like that she didn't seem to comprehend. or what her ultimate goal was. I just couldn't get it.
Well,
I wouldn't, life in prison? Really?
Mentally ill, narcissistic, whatever you want to say about her, I'm sure it all applies. But
yeah, right.
In Laura Owens' case, I'm telling you, there's a world where she may potentially maybe do 1 or 2 years in prison with the right plea deal. If she takes accountability, she pleads to one of the perjury charges. Maybe she pleads to count 1 or 2 or something, dismiss all the other charges. Maybe she does 3 years in state prison. She could be out within, I think she's got to do 85% of that time. So 26, 25 months. I don't know. But there's a period, she could do that, plead guilty, or she could risk it and get found guilty on all of those charges, to which, by the way, she confessed to most of them in the family law case.
Yep.
And take her chances and face 33 and a half years in prison. If you piss off the judge too much, he's the one that sentences you.
And if you show, right, like that they find you guilty and you show no remorse, or you show no indication that you think you did anything wrong, that can get you a longer sentence too.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm getting at. Yeah. So she goes on this whole journey of trying to convince everybody that she's not at fault, that she's done nothing wrong, that she's the victim. She goes through a whole 3-week trial trying to convince the jury of that. The judge has heard enough. The judge knows that she's had many opportunities to take responsibility, and she doesn't. And then she's probably going to get up there at her sentencing hearing and say that, look, as a person with autism, as a person that's been victimized, as a person that's been raped, as a person that's done all this kind of stuff, I just want to say that I'm sorry, but these are the things that happened to me and all this stuff. She's going to make it all about her as opposed to being remorseful towards her victims. And the judge gets off the judge, and she's going to be like, you know what? I'm going to, as it counts 1 through 8, I'm going to sentence you consecutively to.
Ooh, you're adding a new one.
Oh, is there only 7 charges? I thought there was 9.
No, go with 8. I like 8.
Yeah.
8 counts then. Well, 1 through 7. I sentence you.
Hey, there's still time.
There's
still time. We might get a few more.
There it is.
Oh, it's late, man. Maybe it's just my mind.
And I cannot wait, because with that I made a video the other day about the ultrasound video that she emailed Clayton, and then she had said in the June 10th trial she never emailed it to him on examination with Gingerbread, that he asked, have you seen this before, blah blah blah, and she says, long story short, she says, well, I never. So we have video of Clayton's email and it coming from her and it being attached to the email. But at the June 10th trial, she says, oh, I never sent that. It must have been Greg Gillespie who hacked my email. He's known for hacking people's emails, and he's admitted it.
So much
so much. So she's going to say in this thing, she's going to say, well, he edited that ultrasound. I didn't actually do it. Or like, she's absolutely going to keep trying to blame it on other people. She's never going to take accountability. All I have to say to you, girl, is take some good fucking acting classes. Use some of that GoFundMe and take some acting classes.
That's terrible advice.
She's also said that the only person she sent either the sonogram or the ultrasound was to Clayton. Meanwhile, it was posted out on her Discord. Correct?
In her Dropbox.
In her Dropbox, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot in her box.
She had a lot of shit in that box.
Jesus, you guys.
A lot of shit.
It was full of shit, just funny. Like her.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
pouring out of every orifice.
Like you said, it's the constant, never-ending victim narrative. Poor me. Someone else did this to me. This is why this happened. A reason for everything, an excuse for everything. Never like, wow, yeah, I fucked up. I must have something wrong with me. Maybe I'm going to go get that checked out.
Right. Autism. It must be the autism. That was such a wonderful article she wrote. Well, all it was a reiteration of all her complaints and whining about
terrible
things.
Have you? I think we talked about this before. Has anyone ever been let off of a charge because they claim to have autism? Right?
Never.
Exactly.
Never.
So what the fuck does she think that's going to do for her?
I was confused by what does that even? What accommodations did she want?
I think she's trying to create, because she plants seeds for things before they happen.
Yeah.
To plan for her future. So I think that, especially with all the attention from, like, I'll say the community, like anyone who's been interested in this case and has followed this case, so she can then go back and say, "What? Look, I said a year ago that I had autism, and these people continued to ridicule me and attack me and wah wah wah, all of this shit." So then she can try to garner sympathy from the autism community, from anyone who's coming across this and might find that article. She plots and plans every single thing she does. So there is a reason she's coming out and saying that.
Yeah, because she thinks that's what's going to carry forward, and that's what people will read and go, "Oh, she wasn't as bad. It was everybody else that was really making her look bad." But you know what? When you're claiming a high-risk pregnancy, you have the diabetes, right? Diabetes. She's seeing multiple doctors because of it, and prescription prenatals, no proof. And in the trial, do you remember the trial when she said about which parenthood you went to? And I forgot the lawyer lady name. I love her.
Deandra?
Deandra, yeah. Deandra asked, and she said, "Well, you didn't go to the right one. Like, it was in a different part." You're supposed to, discovery covers everybody. That's what the rule was. That's what was requested, was all medical related information. It was like, what was this, fun for you to be in
And then
court?
Gingras said that shouldn't have even been a thing.
Yeah.
In his appeal.
And there was the same time he said, "Oh yeah, that happened before me." What?
Yeah.
Like a duck in water, you know? Jesus. It was farcical. And the limited time was really horrible. That was probably the worst that could have happened. If she could have extended it to a longer time frame.
And it was extended. It was supposed to be 45 minutes.
But still, and I know it's family court, so you know better than I do.
Yeah.
That needed more time to get more evidence out. But she
I've
was
had
just damning herself.
Much weaker issues, to be honest with you. I mean, the 2 hour time frame would drive me crazy.
You've had longer than able to?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done with like multiple witnesses and like over 100 exhibits on both sides and months of discovery and like contentious litigation. I don't think I've ever had like a 2 hour trial. That's always like a couple days at least.
Yeah.
Do you think it has anything to do with the size of the county?
Maybe. I mean, that's just look, every court's different. They got their own rules. That's something unique to them. That's certainly not a thing anywhere that I practice. Aquinano with the 10 says, "Omar, you look like you are ready to lay your head down right now. Get some rest and love you much." It's been a long day, Aquinano. I'm doing my best, but I'm soldiering through. I'll tell you what, I think if you go back and listen to the role play that Schnitzel and I did a few weeks ago when she was first indicted, that's a pretty good approximation of what her conversation with her attorneys are going to sound like. It's going to take them convincing her that her case sucks. And then she's going to be like, "Well, maybe you're not the attorneys for me." And it's like, well, then good luck finding another one. I don't know how they've been paid for, but you know, at some point,
yes.
money. Oh, well, I don't know.
I thought you both did great. You, the lawyer, trying to talk her in with understanding the situation, and Schnitzel playing the Laura role as we know her, right? Just what we know. I think you both did fantastic. And if it doesn't fall very closely to that, it'll blow my mind, because I think you were both right on. I think you did. And I think that if they listened to it, they probably would do that. Right? Like they would base their actual life on what you guys did.
Yeah,
that's
but
a scary part for me, you know.
Just that exercise.
How do you think Gingras gets ideas for his plans?
Oh,
he listens to your streams.
You know? Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Hate watches them.
Yeah, maybe he hate watches them. But I think just doing that exercise, that you really have to treat her like a baby in some respects, like a petulant teenager.
That's more like it, yeah.
And you have to play into you have to tell her that, maybe you're smarter than everybody, but not everybody's going to think like you, because they're just not that smart. And so we're dealing with idiots, and these idiots are going to convict you if you let them. And so let me do my job and protect you from their stupidity.
And also, if you want someone to do something, you need to make that thing seem like it was their idea.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Which is kind of where I was like going towards the end, because I was getting such a headache with Schnitzel because she does such a good job. I was like, oh, I had a migraine. It's like I can't with this lady.
She's just like a brick wall, though. Like it's like these other like notorious people we know of, like Sarah Boone, like Alec Murdaugh, like Casey Anthony. Can I say, I don't know any of these people who have
Bundy. He was a narcissist.
Sure, yeah. Any of these people who claimed that they didn't do any of this stuff, and there was never remorse, there was never like an ounce of acknowledgement of what they've done. They think that they can represent themselves best, by going on the stand. And anyway, she is just like one of the Donald Trump. She is one of those people.
She's proven it herself over and over. That's the thing, by continuously keeping the narrative going forward, no matter what. Even after the trial, the 2 days or 4 days, she called the police on the video of the 3 guys, not even mentioning her name, saying, we want justice tomorrow, and looking forward to the trial or whatever. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe it. It was like, what's the big deal? Jesus. No, let's call a police report on that too. Hey, it's going to be cloudy out. They better call the FBI. What are you doing about the weather?
My ex chose to be his own lawyer during divorce. Yeah, that's not advisable. It's not advisable to be your own lawyer if you're going up against another lawyer. It's just
but it's her ex, so that's okay to do it.
Oh, it was good for her.
She's thinking, go ahead.
If you want, like I talk, it's funny because every time I do these consults, it's like, my husband said that I'm not going to get anything, and then he's going to take me to court. He's going to take the kids from his. Yeah, none of those things are going to happen. You want to know how it really works? You're going to get half of his salary, half of his retirement account, half of his stuff. You're going to get alimony because it's a long-term marriage. You're going to get child support. You're going to be the primary parent because of work schedules and whatever. And you're going to be just fine. Oh, and half the house too. But my name is not on the title. It doesn't matter because it's community property stayed and whatever. Well, my husband told me, I don't care what he told you. He doesn't understand the law.
Yeah, why are you listening to him? He's the one you want divorced.
Well, it's hard.
And the reverse. If she's the one making money and has the house and all that, right?
I'll explain. Because in a hostile domestic situation, not even domestic violence, just a hostile, people don't like each other. If a guy wants to get aggressive and start bullying his wife, and she's spent years with this guy and she's just used to giving him the benefit of the doubt, they start believing stupid shit. That's why if you're going to get divorced and separated, you have to get independent legal counsel, at the very least a consultation, to know what your rights are, what you're entitled to. Otherwise, you're going to get steamrolled. Mm-hmm. Luckily, that doesn't happen very often because most people that bully like that, they recite their own versions of the law that have no basis in reality. And even the judge is able to protect women from these kinds of things because the laws are designed to protect both parties from that kind of thing. So, but it can get messy. There's a million things I could say about that, but But
you've talked about creating a series. Remember?
I'm in the process
last week in Vlad.
Yeah, I'm still in the process of doing that at the very least. People should understand how to present in court at the very least when it pertains to custody and visitation cases. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be disadvantaged because you don't know how to express yourself to a judge. And maybe you don't got $10,000 to drop on a retainer for a family law attorney that knows what they're doing. And so you go up there and you think that you're going to win the case because you're going to tell this judge about how he doesn't know how to change diapers and he shouldn't have overnights because I'm breastfeeding. And I just don't think that our children are going to be comfortable with them alone because I've always been the one in this. Yeah, because that's not what the law says. And if you go in there with those misconceptions, you could screw your case over again. But I'm in the process of making that series. It's not ready yet. It's a lot to put together, but we're undertaking it anyway.
Take your time because you want to do it right. And I think it'll benefit a lot of people. So I really like the idea. And that's why I brought it up. I want people to be aware of it.
That's something that's going to be available to my channel members. The members will have access to that entire catalog. I'll probably host it on Patreon, maybe. That I haven't worked out, but I'll find a way to make it accessible to at least our members. Amy says, he told our female judge how my female lawyer made him feel like he had 2 ex-wives.
Oh my God.
Nice. Hey, Judge.
Didn't go over well.
Good.
I wonder if he made a menstrual joke in the midst of that argument.
That's what you'd fucking do.
I do that specifically to troll Schnitzel. She hates when I do that.
You know what? In that way, you're kind of a Brad.
A Brad? Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
As in
IT?
where our views, as in where our views differ, where your views differ from Brad's politically, like mine differ from you with the feminism and some of your old school talk.
Well, talk is talk. I don't really, it's funny because we did our whole stream flat. I was talking to my wife about it. She's like, why you talk like that? You sound like a big mush. I was like, it doesn't matter what I say. It just matters what I do. I'm not like that. It's like, yeah, I know. It was funny. I was laughing. So I talk a big game, but like in private, I'm not at all like that. I'm very, what can I say? I was raised by women. My mama raised me properly.
Here's my karaoke book. Look, I found my karaoke book.
Oh, damn.
What is that?
Burn a ring of fire.
A ring of fire, huh?
Yeah, it's in there. All the songs that I had collected over the years, I was like, we were talking karaoke. You guys are supposed to do karaoke. And like, I thought, I know I have my book somewhere. I have all these songs. And when you flip through them, you're like, oh, right? Because of the different songs bring back different happy memories or whatever. But I was a karaoke king at a place in Michigan on Thursday nights. And I'd always win first place for $100. And 2 reasons. 1, I could semi-sing. 2, I was there as late as possible to be the last person that they had no one else to pick. But I always used Under Boardwalk was my classic song. And,
Otis Redding?
People are cheering and having a good time. Pardon?
That's not Otis Redding.
That was
Boardwalk.
No. And then we talked about Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond.
Bette Midler sang this song. Did you sing the Bette Midler version?
No, I don't know if I know that one. The way she sang it?
1988.
Oh,
it's on the soundtrack.
No. Okay.
Oh,
I guess.
Well, he sung the other one, I guess. I've
been searching to try to find out that. That's okay. The Chariots of Fire, the guy who wrote it, Vangelis, I believe, he passed away in 2022. So an estate owns the rights to the songs from that movie and the copyright. So I'm like, I'm going to still work on this because I think I can get it. I just picture you and Lauren in the slow motion scene with the swimming, with that tune going. I just can't get it out of my head for the past few days.
I'm sure we can put something together like that. It'll be hilarious. I watched the video back. It's pretty funny. I could see it from your narrative.
Was it real, like beginning to end?
Says Under the Boardwalk. The Drifters sung that song. Bette Midler covered it. And apparently so did Rob. So
yeah, only I do the Drifters version. So thank you, NG.
I was totally trolling Rob. I didn't mean to.
Hey, check private chat.
All right. Private Omar, share this. All right.
You share this.
All right.
Share this.
We are sharing a Give, Send, Go page. Raise funds for pre-search warrant Scottsdale body. Hey,
this is body cam footage.
Oh, do you want to read it?
That's what it's.
No, you
body human body cam.
Oh, what did I say? Raise funds for pre-search warrant Scottsdale body.
Yeah, we found this body, and we need to collect funds.
Worded awkwardly. What can I say, man?
That's a little sketchy. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
I can't take blame for that. I read it as on the page.
That was good though.
Raise funds for the pre-search warrant Scottsdale body. And then it's just what? All right, we'll go with that title.
It's got to be body cam. It's got to be body cam. Otherwise, it's not getting the point. But that's okay. I think you'll still hit your goal. I think you'll still hit your goal.
So we're
refresh it.
All right, let's refresh it. See what happens.
No.
Oh, well, it's too late.
Still I updated it. I swear.
It still says body.
No.
Oh, Schnitzel. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's gonna be.
Look, we're collecting.
Yeah, we're trying to raise $100
Scottsdale body.
The body cam, the Scottsdale body.
I know.
What does that mean to you? Do you have a Scottsdale body?
Schnitzel is getting money for a body. Someone said.
Well, we want to pre-search it though.
Any kind of body that you could imagine. What is the body of your dreams? We can manufacture it here at Give and Go. Hosted by Schnitzel. Hello, JFC fam. Many of you already know.
Would you like your own Scottsdale body?
Oh, Scottsdale body. I'm imagining like a red orangish skin, like a jerky.
Yeah.
And texture, because of beaten down by the sun.
The sun and the desert. Yeah. We're looking for it, so we need to raise funds to research. God. We're not actually searching for the body yet. We're just pre-searching. We're not going to do anything about it.
There we go. So funds for pre-search for body cam footage.
Okay, so the donations. Oh my God. Okay, it worked. It worked.
Yeah. See, we're good.
You're getting the updates. Yeah.
The title. The title. I just saw that the title updated.
Yeah. Many of you fans already know what it's about, but here's a quick version. We're working to raise $600 to get 15 body cam videos from the Scottsdale Police Department recorded during the pre-search warrant raid on Laura Owens. Scottsdale's officers were brought in by Maricopa County Defense, Attorney's Office detectives, and the footage captures what really happened that day.
Omar, can you share the link in the comments? Because I can't share links.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to pin it.
I'm a wrench.
And so...
Oh, that's a good idea.
Schnitzel, do you not have a wrench?
I do not.
I got a wrench.
Bullshit.
I've never asked for one. I've never been given one.
Well, I'm giving you one right now.
Do you want me to post it? I can do it.
Well, I'm already doing it, Rob.
We just took a step in our relationship.
No.
Okay,
well, there's a couple things I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give Schnitzel a wrench.
Yeah, you focus on that. It's okay.
I am the handyman around the house, I will say.
Well, sometimes you got to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to pin this message. And so now it's there.
But are you a pre-handle woman?
What?
The hell does that mean?
A pre-handle. Everything's pre-warrant, pre-search, pre-handle. Yeah.
I'm a
I
fresh
focused on
handle.
the pre part, right?
I am a prepared
You're
woman.
You're the handler. I'm the handler. Just like you're the diddler. Omar's the diddler.
Why am I the diddler?
And you're the handler. Because you guys are on the street. The handler and the diddler.
Well, there was an echo.
That was funny.
Why do I got to be the diddler for one?
Because you talked about it on Friday.
Just because I covered the Diddy case does not make me the diddler. For the record,
you opened it up before Plaid. That's where it came in.
Anyway, Schnitzel is now a mod. She has a wrench.
Wow.
So that should take care of that.
Big step.
Join the team.
Gonna anger some people out there.
Maybe. You never know.
You can block.
People get angry for stupid things.
Yep.
Wording. She says will call magic wording. You guys trying to give Schnitzel a wrench? Who else was trying to give Schnitzel a wrench?
I don't know, but I'll take two.
All right. Well, I only have one to give. So,
Rob.
Oh. Refresh because I think we can. I bet you already hit your 600.
Oh yeah, let's. We're up to 210 now. Are we up to 210? 210.
Wow.
210. Wow.
You guys are incredible.
We may or may not have to pick and choose the body cam videos that we want to get.
So they're charging fees for each of the videos?
Yeah,
Every video
$40.
that I've posted that I have purchased has been $40.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I
Then I'm dead.
have had
Yeah.
some people in the past give money.
Yeah.
Okay. I have spent hundreds and hundreds of my own dollars on this case. And as you know, I donate all my proceeds to the victims.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot.
Yeah.
And I will just say I really appreciate any and everyone being willing to chip in as they're able.
Well, I'm
Yes.
glad you did it then. That's important because you know what? No one really thinks about the detail, right? They're just happy to see the information, but how do
Mhm.
we really get it? I know when I used to get document runs, right, last year when I was running down to the
Mhm.
courthouse, it wasn't expensive, so I didn't care. But when
Mhm.
you're talking $40 or $50 or a couple $100, it adds up out of
Yeah.
pocket, you know.
And the 911
So
audio
I'm
is
really glad.
1650 each, and the calls for service, I think those were when I had looked at them before, like looked at requesting them, they were like $5. Police reports were $5.
And
Did
now
you
Yeah, I
know
don't know
now,
what this
thanks to
Bration is.
her,
No, do not
thanks to
pray
her,
me.
do not send
they're
prayers?
raising
I don't need a
prices.
prayer.
They're raising prices because of her. It's like, look, the system that our statistics are showing that's really upbeat in Scottsdale.
We shouldn't
Yeah.
be doing this all. You know what? Let me do this. Let me get out of here.
Anyway,
right.
thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that, and thank you for everyone who's given.
And by the way,
Thanks
it's up
for
to
your research, Schnitzel.
Yeah.
220 now. 220 is gonna increase a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
In due time. Oh, why not?
I need to go to the link too. Then, damn it!
You need to go to what?
And
gotta
I
go to the
will
link,
give
too.
money too for for the
Yeah,
document.
yeah. No, you wait to the end when you get close, and you throw in the last 20, okay, or $10. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh.
230. Nice.
Uh.
Is 20 okay?
No, you need to give more, sir.
No,
Jesus.
no. Give
I'm gonna give 20 this time, right? I joined this one before to help with Clayton. I
Oh,
should be
and
able to sign in.
I know Lauren's
Yeah.
gonna share it tomorrow too.
Yeah, but she doesn't have the same power as Omar. What?
Yes, she does.
I
She
know.
has exactly the same powers
She has
as I,
more. She has
if
more.
not more. Yeah, probably more.
A woman's power.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say it.
Go Power Rangers.
Oh boy, what is it up to now? Or am I in charge of refreshing?
It's,
You are. It's probably the same.
230. I got 230 showing, but it could have been updated since.
245.
There you go.
Yeah, moving.
I'm
up
verifying
You all
that
are
I'm not
incredible.
I'm verifying I'm human.
You're
Anyone I talk to about this case,
Yeah.
and I mean anyone,
Right.
I let them know that it is all about the community. I know that we've had people who have given a voice, who had a
Mhm.
platform to share it with more people, but it's all about the community support. Every single person who has requested a doc or requested a video or made a Reddit post or tweeted anything, it's all about the community, and this all couldn't have been done without every single person who has participated.
I'd just like to point out that we're up to close to 300 now. We're halfway there.
That's insane.
Halfway
I feel
there.
like we're doing a Jerry Lewis telethon.
We're
Remember his?
halfway there.
You know, I was a telemarketer for that guy once.
Jerry Lewis.
Oh, really?
Not him, the guy, but like the program.
Yeah, muscular dystrophy.
I was working.
That was
Yes, I was working in
important disease,
Columbus,
yeah.
Ohio. I was trying to collect donations for muscular dystrophy for Jerry's kids.
Really?
They had like this stupid pitch.
Yeah.
Hey, you're in jail and you have to bond out with $100 donations that will benefit Jerry's kids. Would you like to donate? Why don't you never call me during dinner? Okay. Well, then,
I hate that job.
It was
I would
really
hate that.
He used to have a telemarketing job.
Yeah,
Would
I've done
be
that.
so.
It's horrible.
And telemarketing.
He's come a long way since then.
Oh.
So far that he has a child now.
All right.
Get it?
I don't know what that means.
He's come a long way.
Oh, is this like a pun that I'm supposed to be getting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It should be above over your head, but you know what I mean.
I sold the Columbus Dispatch over the telephone. Newspaper. $1 a week for $4 a month. You can have up to $1,500 of monthly coupons at your local Myers supermarkets.
Oh man, whoa. Myers, Kroger.
How about the sports page?
You know the famous person who used to drive for Kroger?
Who?
You don't know? Who used to drive truck for Kroger?
Bruce.
Elvis.
Oh, why would I know that? Why would I be?
Look, Kroger's huge in Columbus.
No idea.
Oh no! I didn't know that Elvis was like a.
That's actually their central hub is in Columbus. Their main hub.
Yeah, that's where I lived. That's where I discovered Kroger's. I lived off of ramen. Oh man, I lived right next to the campus. But before that, I can't think of it. I lived like next to a bookstore. Man, I haven't thought about that in so long. But yeah, Ohio was a trip. And what was more of a trip was like, I remember my 21st birthday, I was trying to go alcohol. I was like, oh, we don't sell alcohol on Sundays after 6 p.m.
In Columbus?
What? Yeah.
What?
That's just crazy talk.
It was bullshit. It was like, I don't know if they changed the law now, but back then it was a thing.
I have never experienced that there.
Well, maybe you just missed the boats, but that's what happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Reynoldsburg is where I lived. Reynoldsburg, Ohio, in Columbus. That's where I lived.
We're more than halfway there, people.
You know what?
I think it's time for that song. Isn't it time for that song? When we do the drum roll on muscular dystrophy when they roll the number for the update.
You should sing it first. I used to live on
Let me just break out the old grimoire. The old grimoire.
I'm like Google mapping my old address in Ohio.
I have the very first song here, and I'm going to give you the title to see if anybody knows it.
All right.
My Ding-a-Ling.
Oh, My Ding-a-Ling. Oh, yeah.
Of course,
very familiar with My Ding-a-Ling.
Yeah, many of us are. Omar should be too.
This is turning into like an after hours.
We're trying to raise money for the gifts.
Yeah, we're trying to raise money. So if y'all want to participate, you got the link out there. This one's for you, Schnitz.
Let me give my sales pitch. Listen, for this Gifts and Go. This has been a case that has tickled the public consciousness for the better part of 2.5 years. Laura Owens has victimized multiple men over the course of a path of destruction in her relationships going on 11 years now. And now she's attempted to do it to the local law enforcement of Maricopa County. Do not let her get away with false allegations. Do not let her mislead the public that anything has been done to her. Let's expose her false allegations by pitching in to raise $600 to collect all 15 of the body cam footage worn by the actual officers who effectuated a search warrant on January 29th of this year. You will not regret it. Let us not fall short of the finish line. Let us burst through this finish line by donating a small portion of your money so that we may reach our goal of $600 to cover these expenses. We love you all. You're all part of this family, not the JFC family. We are part of a humanitarian effort to expose liars and fraud. How about that?
Sold.
Turning it over to Rob.
For Ding-a-Ling.
Coming back. Oh, say, can you see? Okay, got that out of the way. Now, this has been also in honor of indirectly to our friend Laura.
We are $70 short, folks. $70.
Oh my
God. And I didn't even sing the song yet. So let's get that 70 plus anything additional can
I'm
also
gonna
be
cry.
body cam.
Let if we reach
Come on, I gotta
600,
sing this song. Just let me sing the first couple, right?
no, we gotta wait until we get to 600, and then you're gonna sing a song about your
Okay,
name.
that's fair. That's fair.
Hey, take that comment down.
Oh, which one?
She's trying to be
Oh,
personal,
Will
right?
two.
Oh, that's just wrong. That's just wrong.
Oh,
I'm stunned.
Rob really
Really?
wants to sing his song.
Yeah.
When did you
Yes.
open it? When
I've
did you
never
start
done
it?
anything like this before, and it's
Oh,
just.
you don't understand the power of the people.
I mean, they're amazing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that want to see justice. They want to see this brought to fruition. They want to take away from this world one person that is mercilessly victimized countless numbers of men. And now this is our big chance to see some form of criminal justice. And I think people are invested in that. I think at this point, there's enough people that are involved with this case that want to see this through. By the way, $45 short, almost there, almost.
My
Almost.
And this information will be available for viewing on Schnitzel's channel, which is very important because it contains pretty much everything from the get-go, which is awesome. Plus the other sites that have committed their time and effort. Look at Anita. Like, she's done the other cases.
Yeah.
But we have the Justice for Clayton, Victims of Clayton, these sites that were created that took the time to tally up and chronologicalize, if that's a word, and the documentation pulled together and all that. There's that Wikipedia too. I was contacted for them, right? They also did it.
JusticeForClayton.com.
And I would run for documents to the courthouse for them.
Folks,
this time it's going downtown. So
we have raised the
oh my god,
we're $695.
Oh my god!
Thank you all for making our dreams come true by fulfilling our goal for this Give, Send, Go
around the world.
Well, so what's the plans then? So these body cam footage are going to be hosted on Schnitzel's website. Undoubtedly, myself, probably with Schnitzel and Lauren and others, Bruce, Brad, Dave Neal, Megan Fox are probably going to be covering it as well. And this story is going to get out to the masses for those that are continuing to follow the latest developments in the Laura Owens case. You know, as I get more tired, I go into broadcaster voice. That's where I'm at right now. I'm in broadcaster voice mode. And so, but
you can smell soap right now.
You did it, man. You did
it. You all did it. We all did it.
Well, we all did it. That's a better way to put it. 100% agree to that.
Well, so I don't know exactly what to do. Like, I don't know if I can give back the $95. I don't know how that works, but if I can't, it will definitely go towards these things, documents, or well, I'm not really, I don't get documents, but like 911 calls, body cam footage, all that stuff.
That's what you should do, is whatever money, because it's still going up. Don't forget, right? Word's out there.
I mean, I should shut it down.
You don't have to.
Well, it's still at $695, so there'll be a $95 surplus. Either that will go to additional discovery items, or maybe it goes to the victims of
that's true.
As has been Schnitzel's plight for the last couple of years now.
And I didn't even monetize my channel at first because for me personally, I felt icky making money off of this because that's never what I set out to do for it. But then I thought I could make the money and then I could give it to those people because I have a platform and because I could monetize them. What's stopping me from giving it to the people who have spent money on this?
Right. Think of the money they've spent and how much, thousands and tens of thousands, right?
Right. And Woodnick, like, I wish I could give some to Woodnick. He's out at least $400,000 that these, like, Clayton hasn't paid up all the way, which I'm not, like, this isn't said to be like anything about that, but it's just the truth, right? Gillespie hasn't paid everything. He's $400,000 out from those two cases alone.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Which he has to carry
attorneys ever
hope that he'll collect.
all their attorney fees. That's just the nature of it, you know.
Right. And I
Owens
mean, the
has,
guys need it more than he's got a successful law firm, like he's still
yeah,
operating, he's in a good place. Like it sucks, but like these guys need it more.
yeah.
But what if he has to let Deandra go because his, the money's not running out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like taking those
So,
people away from
Yep.
other cases they could be working on.
And I
Yeah.
do want to make a comment real quick. Funds for pre-search warrant for body wasn't getting you dick. When you added Cam onto it, all of a sudden the numbers are jumping. Did you see that? Did you notice that, Schnitz?
Oh, instead of just body, Scottsdale
You're
body.
not gonna participate in searching for a body.
Nobody's interested in a Scottsdale
All
body.
of a sudden, 3 little letters. Woo, let's give
Oh
money
my
to that.
God.
Everybody's in the footage now.
Yeah, how do you
I like
protect
it
yourself from
personally.
the sun like that, Rob? Because your skin doesn't look like it's all weather beaten like that. You look like you're a healthy guy.
Yeah, the lights are making my forehead shiny, which I hate, but I don't get out much. So I get migraines. I get cluster migraines, so I stay in the dark mostly.
Oh, well, that's
what else can I say? But I don't have a pool or anything like that either to sit around. So
Shelly, the victims are definitely not rich.
I literally just typed victims are definitely not rich.
Yeah, they're definitely not rich. Yeah, I just happen to know some things, and I know that they're not rich folks. They are
celebrity types. They're just
rich.
Yeah.
So, folks,
and even with Clayton, like he's semi-famous or reality TV famous, but doesn't make you rich unless you really yeah. And anyway, I mean, yeah, they're not rich.
Well, folks, I'm gonna wrap this up because well, it's that time. Rob, thanks for jumping in.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Let me in.
Thank you for all of your hard work and everything that you've done to make this happen.
It sounded like you said Schnitzel.
Did I?
No, I think it just cut out.
Oh, I didn't mean Schnitzel.
Is that a hard ass or
a hard ass? Is Schnitzel a hard ass?
Gillespie or Gillespie? Hard G?
So many things have happened on the show. For one, we found out that Rob likes a song about dingling that we haven't heard.
Right. Yeah, you got to play the dingling song.
We'll save it for your nephew, the sun go.
We'll save it. We'll save it for sure. Number 2, we learned that, well, Schnitzel got a wrench for my show. For some reason, she didn't have one. Now she has one. Nice. For 3, we fulfilled the goal on this give, send, go. I feel like in 15 minutes.
I'm still shocked.
That's incredible.
Y'all are amazing. Yes. And just also to see, like, I know that it's not about me. I know this isn't about, it's like about the community, like a community of people coming together to help. And I know, like, I also know, like, it's going to be, it will be an experience seeing the footage. And I know that's like a motivator too, but still, like, it's just incredible to see people come together like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sad part to me is that this is all public information, but you have to pay for because of the internal costs to pull it and all that. That's kind of sad to me, but the importance of the information is worth the money. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because so many people are going to be seeing it. And again, I'm not trying to taint a jury pool or anything like that. This is her being her. That's all it is. And as many accusations she's thrown out there against so many people and this, that, and the other, it's just sharing the information, right? We're not making it up. You're not tweaking the body cam. It's just what it is what it is. So
well, we're just interested in the truth, and getting the evidence is the quickest path towards truth. And so we are united in that goal.
So I'll tell you, in Arizona, the judges have a lot of discretion in cases. I think that there should, especially with medical evidence. So I think that that's something that I know I've been looking into about how that should be
Well, we'll see. I think we should wait until we get the catalog of evidence from the discovery files.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is going to be disclosed, but there's going to be a catalog of evidence, and we should, to the extent that we are going to be given access to that, figure out what's most relevant, what's even going to be accessible to the public. Are there receipts from her looking into purchasing HCG? Was she perhaps curious about finding a way to purchase injectable HCG? And did she do it under like a third party, some other name, pay with cash type of deal? The search history is really what I'm interested in.
Yes. On all the devices.
Yeah, that's honestly what I'm the most interested in. So I guess we'll see.
Something I've had, like a theory I've had, is that, like, well, we know there are multiple devices taken. My theory has always been that she has different devices for different things.
Yes. I agree. And so all of that's going to come out in the wash, and we got that to look forward to. But these body cam videos are going to be one hell of a start. And with that, folks, I have to bid you all a good night before I
bond farewell,
fall asleep.
Yeah, don't crash. You're at home though, right?
I'm at home. Yeah. No, I ain't drinking, and I'm at home.
No, and I was gonna say you're that close to hit the bed and go to sleep.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going. Yeah,
yeah. I think for you to be at the office. Yeah.
No travel required.
No travel required. I got a hearing. I got to get up early and stuff. And so, anyway, folks, I love you guys. Schnitzel, thanks for coming on. Rob, thanks for coming on. Everybody, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody.
Next time. Bye-bye.
Ciao.